Hello everyone, welcome to the video of this week. Last time we had spoken about understanding stress and its triggers. Now, once we understand what an issue is or what is being problematic to us, the next step comes where we try to cope up with such problem or cope up with such roadblocks. So in today's video, we are going to talk about the coping mechanisms for stress. Let's see what we have today. So, we know that life is all about choices. We are born, and till the time we die, the choices that we make is what defines our life. We understand that at every moment, at every uh, incident, we make a choice, and that this choice is dependent on our personality type, our thinking process, our beliefs, our situations, and how they shape up our decision making. So, when these choices are made in a planned way, in the most effective way, we can actually reduce the impact of so-called stress in our lives. Let's see how we can do it. But before that, we need to understand what is it that triggers the stress. Because unlike just diagnosing the problem, we need to get to the root of what is causing a trouble. Now, if you remember in our last video, we had spoken about the iceberg effect, iceberg illusion. So, unless and until we get to the root of the iceberg, we will not be able to heal ourselves. So, let's see what triggers stress first. Past. I have broadly classified the triggers into three uh, aspects, and if we actually analyze everything that is causing some kind of discomfort or some kind of stress in our lives, we can put them in either of these categories. Now, when we are living in the past or we are carrying the baggage of past with us, it certainly causes problem in our present living. Your, the past that I'm talking about may include fear. It may have some painful memories that we might have experienced, and because of which we carry a baggage of generalization. For example, there are people who it's fact based that there are people who stopped driving after they had a severe accident sometime in life. Now, what is it? It's just a baggage, because it is not that every time a person drives, an accident may happen. That is not the case. But we are living in that past that something bad had happened, and if we do something similar, then again this trouble might happen. Now, I'm not denying that we should not learn from our mistakes. Whatever we experience, whatever we comes as an event in our life, we definitely should learn lesson from it. But we should not let it go beyond a certain point where it starts becoming stressful or where it starts making our mind heavy. So the first thing is stress. First trigger category is something which comes from the past. Second is about the present. When we are living in the present, we tend to lack mindfulness. I might be here, but I have thousands of thoughts going on in my mind, which may include something that I have to do in the day, or something that was intended to be completed but is still pending. Now, when we do this, what happens is we are not able to give 100% to the present moment. The fact remains that at this moment, I'm here. At this moment, this is what I'm doing. So why not be for it at my 100% accuracy? I need to be here so that whatever I'm doing now is done well and I don't have to repeat it. Now, I don't have scripts for my videos or my podcasts or whatever content I create or I talk about. I do not make a script in advance because I want to be involved in what I'm doing and I want to speak every word from my heart. I have prepared this. Now, what have I thought while preparing this? That should come naturally because if now I'm here, I am not just here to read a script to you. I'm here to express something which I feel will help you. It will help in the mental well being of your existence and of my existence. So, if I am doing something in the present moment, it is very important that I am in it with my 100% attention. Again, fear is something which is a very big trigger for stress. I'm here today, but something might be troubling me. I might be afraid that am I talking well? Am I presenting this video well? So it is not doing any favor. It is not bringing any advantage to me. I may not be perfect here, but if I allow that fear to enter my mind, whatever I am doing will become even worse. So we need to understand that this fear which engulfs our thoughts is only here to weaken our performance. And third and very important one is when we lack the acknowledgement of emotions that we have. Now, as a general practice, what we do is if a child is crying or something, there's emotional hurt, not physical. Someone felt something bad and they are not feeling good, they're crying. Our immediate response is stop crying. But why? If I have some feeling and I'm expressing it in a way, I should be allowed to do it. If I am angry, I should be allowed to express it. Whatever emotion is coming to us as a response to any event should first be allowed to get to the level of acceptance. If I have failed, I will learn from it. But let me accept first that I am having a feeling of failure. Because unless and until we are able to identify and acknowledge the emotions that we have, we will not be able to move ahead. We will be stuck because we will not be able to express the emotion. We will not be able to fulfill the requirement that it has created in our mental space. And until and unless we are able to do that, we will not be able to move ahead with in a better way. We will not be able to come out of that emotion, good or bad. So it's very important that we first acknowledge whatever we are feeling, whatever our thoughts are, so that there is no stress being, there's no trigger of stress that appears. Now, the last category here is future. Anything related to future can trigger stress. When you and me think too much about what is going to happen in the future, we we are enforcing uncertainty into our lives because future is unpredictable. We can plan for it, but we cannot be sure about anything happening in a certain way. So there's always a level of doubt, a percentage of uncertainty which is involved with future. So it is very good to plan about future, but if we are going beyond a certain limit, it becomes worrisome for the mind, which is not healthy. There are also situations where things go beyond our coping abilities. If something is to happen in the future and there are others involved, not just me, so I have to be ready with the fact that there are others who are beyond my control, or their performance, or their the way they exhibit themselves, the way they present themselves, anything related to the task that I'm thinking about. Those things are not within my coping ability, and those are not within my control. So in that case, if we are able to accept that level of uncertainty and that level of expectations which is beyond our control, then we are better able to manage our situation. We do not allow anything to become stressful because we are ready for some variations or some differences in the way things will turn out than how we had planned. So, to sum it all, the three major categories of triggers for stress are related to the past, present, and future. We've gone in detail of it. Now, the reason why I have re-emphasized on the triggers in this video is because if you have not watched the previous one where we spoke more about stress and understanding stress and its triggers, you are able to relate better to the coping mechanisms that I'm going to present. So, the previous video was more about understanding stress and a little introduction about how it is triggered. The link is in the description, so you can always have a look at that video as well. Now, moving ahead, let's see how can we cope up with stress. So, this is one way that I've come up with to make it easy to remember, because when we are stressed, we are in a lower state of resourcefulness. So something which is easier to remember, something which can create an anchor in your mind whenever you are stressed, can be very helpful. So I call this as a grant method. Let's see how we can grant ourselves liberty from stress. So the 5 ways that grant method gives us is gratitude, reframing problem to opportunity, appreciation, naming the emotion, and very, very important, time management. Let's go further in little bit detail of what each of this does and how it helps us. So gratitude. I need not emphasize more on this because all of us know that this practice of gratitude is something which really liberates us. It does, it has so many benefits that cannot be enlisted. If we make gratitude a daily habit, it helps us shape our thinking. It helps us shape our mind in such a way that we try to filter out everything that is good. We try to pick out things which are good in every situation. The event on the at the front level may seem not so good. For example, a failure. A failure may not seem very good, but then it might have a hidden message. It might have a hidden lesson. Sometimes some failure cause change in the direction of efforts, change in the direction of life, and later we are able to understand what exactly this failure gave us. So it helps in gaining a positive mindset and it also helps very importantly in valuing the things that we have instead of always yearning for something, or instead of always planning, making goals to achieve something, which is not bad at all. But in that journey of achievement and goal accomplishment, whatever is existent, if we are able to appreciate that, if we are able to value that, it becomes a practice of gratitude and overall results in improved mental and physical health. So, gratitude is very important. Next is reframing. Most of the time, when we are feeling stressed, the self talk that goes in our mind, now, self talk goes at every moment. You have more than 80,000 thoughts in a day. So whatever thoughts are there in mind, they somehow are they come into your mind as self talk. So whatever self talk that we have when we are in a low level of emotion or in at a stress level is usually negative. So how we can reframe that negative self talk to positive is very important. And it's very simple if we make it a habit. I am lazy. That's negative. If you feel that I'm lazy, I'm not equipped, I lack such skills, it will not work. We need to reframe it to saying that I need to work, I am in the process of working on myself. I am in the process of acquiring these skills because I can grow if I learn this. So, whatever you feel is limiting yourself, or whatever you feel is a belief that you have ingrained in mind, and it keeps on repeating, it keeps on coming as a self talk and reduces your efficiency, reduces your resourcefulness, it's always important to reframe it. And the best benefit that you can get out of reframing activity is that whenever we are in a problem mindset and we are reframing our talk to a positive one, we immediately convert our perspective to being in a solution mindset. So it's very obvious, and we all know that being in a problem mindset does no gain. But if you are in a solution mindset, you open up the doors of mind where the light enters and it gives you solution for every big and small thing in life. It enlightens the mind to look at the brighter side of things. Again, something which gratitude also does and reframing also does. Now, like I said, if I say that I'm lazy, every thought related to my limitations will pop up. But if I say I'm in the process of being more efficient with my time, with my uh, skills, or with my resources, I'm opening a door where I'm saying that I'm improving. And if I'm giving myself that talk that I'm improving, it is obviously going to make me more positive. And eventually, all of this helps us regain our resources. Sometimes we are not able to realize that how confident we are, how resilient we are, unless and until we are faced with certain situations, certain problems, if I may say. So, if I remain in that problem mindset, I will not realize my qualities or my resources. I need to come out of it. I need to reframe my thoughts to positive ones so that I can encash, or I can use my resources. I can use my strength of certain skills. Now, the next one, which is very much related to the practice of gratitude, is about appreciation. Now, this is something which is again very natural in ourselves. It's just that the way we express it becomes different or becomes difficult. If we have a mind which is positive, if we have a mind which filters out the good in life, it is very easy to appreciate. When I say appreciate, it is important to appreciate ourselves as well as people around us, things around us, situations around us. So if I compliment someone, maybe about uh, whatever, about their achievement, about their some, maybe their creativity, maybe any of their skills, so it generates an energy. It generates a positive energy, not just in me, but the other person as well. And together, when we exhibit positivity, we are making this entire society a better place to live in. So it's all a win-win situation. It's very good to appreciate. It's very good to identify whatever is good in others, in ourselves, and it helps in, you know, gaining a confidence. It helps in gaining a positivity which goes multifold, because it is multiplying. If I am passing on my, if I am exhibiting, not passing on, but if I am exhibiting a positive attitude, and the other person is able to catch that vibe, they are able to catch that energy, the situation around me is able to uh, reflect that positivity. So in all together, we are making this entire world, or in this entire space, such a beautiful and better place to live in. Appreciation reinforces all the benefits that we spoke about that gratitude has. And very importantly, appreciation shows that we are able to identify the blessings that we have in life. It is very important to acknowledge those blessings. When I talk about appreciation, I also want to emphasize that it is very, very important that we appreciate ourselves as well. Having dreams and goals is important, but at every step, every baby step that you take towards anything that you want to achieve, or any good thing that you do in a day, anything which made you feel good, it is very, very, very good to appreciate yourself about it. It will reinforce so much confidence and so much positivity that gratitude, appreciation, everything will become as natural to us as we breathe. And imagine a space where people have all positive mindset, and people are all appreciative about each other. It'll be so beautiful. So yes, power of appreciation is very, very, very strong. Naming the emotion. Now, like I earlier said, to understand what we are feeling is very important, because unless and until we know that this is what is going in our mind, we will not be able to accept it, first of all, and we will not be able to work on it. Now, for example, if I say that I'm feeling low today, feeling low is what is on the surface level. What exactly is happening? I might be hurt by someone, I might be hurt by myself for not performing in a certain way. So the more I try to dig into what is happening with me, the more effectively I'll be able to identify that emotion. And then I can accept the feeling that has come out because of that emotion. And for this, it is very important that we are able to connect well with our inner voice. We spoke about self talk. We spoke about something, some voice from within, which helps us connect with our inner self. So, the more I am with myself, the more I am able to effectively understand what my emotion is and what I'm feeling. And it becomes very easy to work on the emotion then. Now, in some video in the future, we will talk in detail about the emotion, because there are lots and lots of emotions, and it's like layer by layer. This is what you may be exhibiting, but like I said, I may be exhibiting disappointment. But what is that disappointment exactly? Is it grief? Is it disappointment? So we have layers of emotions where we dig in, and when we get to the root of it, we work on it. So in some future video, you will find that we are talking about uh, naming our emotion or understanding our emotions. Until then, we can understand the general terms that we use for emotion, and with that, we can work on it. Time management. This is very, very important, because this is the only resource which is limited. Any moment gone cannot be brought back. And most of the time, stress happens when we lose time, when we feel that we are behind our schedule, or we are behind uh, the level of achievement that we should have been at a certain point of time. So, to again, this is a very detailed topic actually, but for the sake of understanding it in terms of stress management, we will briefly go through how we can effectively manage our time. Art of prioritization. This is not something new. We all know it. In a day, we may have hundreds of things to do, but to prioritize the ones which are important is very, 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 very essential to manage the time. For instance, if I plan out my to-do list with say 10 or 12 items, practically in terms of time, I may not be able to achieve all of them. So what I need to do is I need to prioritize the tasks which are important to be done first. Of course, that is what prioritization is. And once that is done, everything falls in place, because there is nothing that I need to worry about. I plan certain things, I prioritize it, and I work accordingly. My time is limited. I cannot extend that 24 hours in a day. So, prioritization helps in making the best use of this limited resource. Journaling. Journaling can be your to-do list, it can be your gratitude list, it can be it can simply be a rough space where you list down your thoughts. What happens is, whenever you're putting anything on pen and paper, you are able to exactly understand what's going in mind. So again, how is it related to time management? Because when you have your thoughts visibly in front of you, you can understand that what is exactly is going in your mind and what you are expecting yourself to fulfill. So journaling helps in putting down thoughts, putting down plans of action, and it helps in effectively carrying them out. Effective resources management, because once we plan that we need to do certain tasks, we know what resources are required and we can effectively put them to use. Dealing with analysis paralysis. Now, this is again a topic which can be talked about a lot, and I will share a link where I've written something about it. It will be there in the description box. You can always refer to that. Analysis paralysis is when you are loaded with too much content. For example, if I have to travel from a certain place, point A to point B, And I know that the most convenient way is, say, for example, taking a metro. But then I'm not ready to accept that a solution could be so simple. So I take information from all spaces. I inquire about cab, I inquire about buses, I inquire about every possible way of reaching there. So what is happening is something which can be simplified is being made more complex because of the load of data that is there. Now this was a small example, but when we say we choose a career, or we are planning, maybe talk about this. If I'm planning to make a video on a certain topic, if I go and research about it, there are thousands and even lakhs of articles on something related to that. There are so many books that I can refer to. If I start doing everything, it will become very heavy on my mind. So to deal with so much of data is not possible. So I need to filter out the important ones instead of keeping everything in place. That is exactly what analysis paralysis is. When we have so much to analyze from that we fail to analyze even the basic thing that we intend to do. So time management again is something which is much more uh, broader as a topic, and we'll definitely try to come up with something more detailed on it. But for now, uh, this is the surface level of how time management can be put to better use for managing stress or for eradicating stress from our lives. So this was what Grant is about. Like I said, grant yourself liberty from stress, practice gratitude, reframe your negative talk to positive ones, learn the art of appreciation and naming the correct emotion, and very importantly, time management helps in reducing stress to a very great level. I hope you find this video useful, and there are some related content, the links of which will be provided in the description. You can always go back and have a look. And thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos on topics related to mental health and well-being. I'm Nivedita Singh, and I'm very happy to have your time to watch this video. Very grateful for it. Thank you.